Hello everyone, welcome to Arpita Sharma classes. I am Arpita Sharma, your educator, and today we are going to start with the Hindu newspaper analysis for 3rd June 2020. आज हम the Hindu newspaper का analysis करने जा रहे हैं 3rd June 2020 के लिए. आप सभी का स्वागत है अर्पिता शर्मा classes में. The class PDFs are uploaded on my Telegram channel Simplifying UPSC with Ease. वहां से आप क्लास के PDFs को डाउनलोड कर सकते हो. आपको पीडीएफ्स क्लास के 1 घंटे बाद ही वहां अपलोड हो जाते हैं, मिल जाते हैं. द लिंक इज गिवन बिलो इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स. Also, we are going to solve some prelims based MCQs also in today's class. आज की क्लास में आज हम prelims based कुछ MCQs भी solve करेंगे. So do participate. Now I have a very small announcement for all of you. It's an exciting one. एक छोटी सी exciting announcement है आप सभी के लिए. Now I am going to come live on Unacademy's UPSC related YouTube channel. Unacademy का जो UPSC YouTube channel है, Unacademy UPSC, वहां पर मैं live आने वाली हूँ. Monday to Friday daily I am going to go live at 9:30 p.m. and I am going to take daily MCQ quizzes from Hindu newspaper, PIB and Indian Express on that channel. उस channel पे Unacademy UPSC के YouTube channel पे मैं daily MCQ quiz Monday to Friday रात को 9:30 बजे लाइव आकर वहां पर मॉक टेस्ट लिया करूंगी. दैट विल बी अ मॉक टेस्ट. पूरे दिन में आपने जो भी न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ा वो वहां रिवाइज कर सकते हो. वट एवर यू हैव स्टडीड इन द करंट अफेयर्स यू कैन रिवाइज इट देयर, राइट. सो द लिंक इज गिवन बिलो फॉर टुनाइट्स क्लास. द लिंक इज गिवन बिलो इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स. हर दिन आपको टेलीग्राम चैनल पे अपडेट मिल जाएगा, डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में लिंक मिल जाया करेगा. आप क्लास में लाइव आ सकते हो. दैट विल बी अ लाइव क्लास. ओके. ऑल्सो आई एम गोइंग टू टेक स्पेशल free class tomorrow, that is 4th June in the morning 11 a.m. Topic will be non-constitutional bodies part 2. Alright, आज हमने part 1 लिया था, कल हम part 2 कवर करेंगे. Again the link is given below. आज रात की 9:30 बजे की अनअकैडमी के यूपीएससी के यूट्यूब चैनल पे, अनअकैडमी यूपीएससी यूट्यूब चैनल पे लाइव में आने वाली हूँ. आप जरूर आइएगा और ये मॉक टेस्ट छोटा सा जो होगा हमारा वो आप जरूर सॉल्व कीजिएगा. ऑलराइट. Also, you can subscribe to Unacademy Plus and get 10% discount using my referral code Sharma20. Unacademy Plus पे मैं क्रैश कोर्स ले रही हूँ करंट अफेयर्स का, तो अगर आप चाहते हैं उसे सब्सक्राइब करना, आप Sharma20 कोड यूज करेंगे तो आपको 10% डिस्काउंट डायरेक्टली मिल जाएगा. क्लियर? Now let's start with the mock test. Question number 1. Consider the following statements. The salary, allowance and other service of Chief Information Commissioner are similar to those of Chief Election Commissioner. Salary, allowances and other service of Chief Vigilance Commissioner are similar to those of Chairman of UPSC. Which statement is correct? कौन सा statement correct है? You have 10 seconds time to answer the question. 10 सेकंड का टाइम है, आंसर कीजिए. Correct answer to this question is C. That is both of the above statements are correct. दोनों ही statements correct हैं. Question number 2. Consider the statements with reference to State Information Commission. Members of commission are appointed by Governor of a state recommended by the state cabinet after consulting Chief Justice of concerned state high court. Removal of members is not by the governor of that particular state, rather it is by the President of India. Which statement is correct? कौन सा statement correct है? Again 10 seconds time to answer the question. 10 सेकंड का टाइम है. Correct answer is D. None of the above statements are correct. The commission consists of State Chief Information Commissioner. Okay. And not more than 10 State Information Commissioners should be there. They are appointed by the governor on the recommendation of a committee consisting of Chief Minister as chairperson, leader of opposition in Legislative Assembly and State Cabinet Minister nominated by Chief Minister. First statement is wrong. Second statement, removal की बात की जा रही है इधर, right? They should be person of eminence in public life with wide knowledge in and experience in law, science, tech, social service, management, journalism, right? And governor removes the members and not the president. So second statement is also wrong. President नहीं remove करता, governor remove करता है. So both the statements are wrong. Question 3. Consider the statements regarding All India service. Any All India service to be established is the exclusive jurisdiction of Parliament and both Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha share equal powers with respect to this. Second, disciplinary action against these officers can be taken both by central government as well as state government. Third, ultimate control over officials of all India service lies with the central government. Which statement is correct? कौन सा statement correct है जरा बताएं. You have 10 seconds time to answer the question. 10 सेकंड का टाइम है आप लोगों के पास. Correct answer is C. That is only third statement is correct. First of all, it is not the parliament, it is the Rajya Sabha. So first statement is incorrect. Second statement again incorrect. Both nahi hai. It can only be taken by central government, not the state government. Second statement incorrect. Third statement is correct. Fourth question, with regard to National Development Council, consider the following statements. Prime Minister of India is chairman of NDC. All Union Cabinet Ministers are represented in the council. Third statement is it makes recommendations not only to central government but also to state governments. Which statement is correct? Correct answer is D. All of the above statements are correct. तीनों statements correct हैं. Now the first important news, Trump invites Modi for G7 summit. US President Donald Trump invited Prime Minister Narendra Modi to next G7 summit to be hosted by US. Both the leaders also discussed current tensions along the line of actual control near Ladakh and COVID-19 pandemic as well. Sources have indicated that India is studying the gesture and will examine if the invite is aimed at making India a permanent part of global high table at the G7 or its redesigned shape as G11. So US has taken this step to invite India into the G7 summit which it is conducting, it is hosting. That is a very positive step in the development of India's position in G7 or G11. President Trump spoke about US presidency of Group of Seven, and that is known as G7, and conveyed his desire to expand the ambit of grouping beyond the existing membership. Basically, Donald Trump कोशिश कर रहे हैं G7 को G11 में तब्दील करने की. He is trying to convert G7 into G11, right? Modi had attended the G7 summit in 2019 when Emmanuel Macron he invited Modi. India is studying this gesture. Now US ये gesture दे रहा है. That means the ties of India and US will strengthen up, right? In the next 3 years, India is expected to play a very important role in global diplomatic arena because superpower is now inviting India. तो हमारी position globally बहुत ही ज़्यादा अच्छी होने वाली है, right? Now let us understand G7. G7 is group of 7 informal block है industrialized democracies का. That is France, Germany, Italy, UK, Japan, US and Canada are a part of G7. It meets annually. सालाना इसकी meeting होती है. Why? To discuss issues of common interest like global economic governance, international security, energy policy, etc. G7 has its roots in an informal meeting of finance ministers of France, West Germany, US, Great Britain, Japan in the wake of 1973 oil crisis and after that it was formalized. सबसे पहले informally ये लोग G7 summit जब तैयार होने लगा था, ऐसी कोई रचना होने लगी थी, तब ये 1973 में ऑयल क्राइसिस डिस्कस करने के लिए मिले थे. उसके बाद ये फॉर्मल हुआ. द फ्रेंच प्रेसिडेंट इनवाइटेड लीडर्स ऑफ वेस्ट जर्मनी, यूएस, ग्रेट ब्रिटेन, जापान, इटली in 1975 for further discussions on global oil prices and then it took a formal shape. उसके बाद इसका formal shape इसने लेना शुरू किया. So here France, West Germany, Italy, Japan, UK and US formed the group of 6 in 1975. And starting में ये group of 6 के तौर पे तैयार हुआ था. Then in 1976 Canada was also invited to join the group and then it became G7. It was hosted by US which was held in 1976 in Puerto Rico. European Union has participated fully in G7 since 1981 as a non-enumerated member as well. Basically membership के लिए कोई criteria की जरूरत नहीं है. There is no particular criteria to become a member. But the participants are all highly developed democracies, right? So that is why US when it is inviting India, That means that India is being recognized as a highly developed democracy right now. जब यूएस इंडिया को इनवाइट कर रहा है, इसका मतलब कहीं ना कहीं ग्लोबल पोजीशन इंडिया की काफी अच्छी हो रही है. So here you can remember this chart: G7, Germany, UK, France, Canada, US, Italy, Japan; G8, all these countries plus Russia; and G20, all these countries plus these countries, right? Clear? ये याद रहेगा सबको. ये आप PDF में आपको मिल जाएगा. You can download the PDF from my Telegram channel. Next, Nisarg barrels towards Mumbai. Cyclone Nisarg in India's west coast is headed towards the coastline of North Maharashtra and South Gujarat. Cyclones which are formed in Bay of Bengal side of North Indian Ocean, they are more frequent and stronger. जो IMD डिपार्टमेंट के मीटरोलॉजिस्ट हैं उन्होंने सजेस्ट किया है कि अरेबियन सी का कोल्ड वाटर जो है, द रिलेटिवली कोल्ड वाटर ऑफ अरेबियन सी डिस्करेजेस द काइंड ऑफ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग साइक्लोन्स. सो साइक्लोन निसर्गा, IMD सेइंग दैट इट विल नॉट बी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग, काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं होगा, इट विल बी लेस, इट विल बी वीक इन इंटेंसिटी एज कंपेयर टू साइक्लोन अम्पन. अम्पन साइक्लोन जो आया था वेस्ट बंगाल में, उससे तो इसकी इंटेंसिटी कम ही होगी, राइट? इट इज बीइंग प्रेडिक्टेड. The strength of cyclones are measured by the wind speed they generate. At its strongest, Nisarg would be associated with wind speeds in the range of 95 to 105 km per hour. On the other side, Amphan was a super cyclone. Amphan क्या था? ये super cyclone था, right? It was a category 5 cyclone. Extremely severe cyclonic storm था. Though the insect and the speed was 180 km per hour. उससे तो निसर्ग की if we compare, it's very low. Though the intensity of Nisarg is not likely to be as strong as cyclone Amphan, which devastated Odisha, West Bengal and Bangladesh, but still IMD has issued warning of heavy to very heavy rainfall and rough sea conditions. So जितने भी लोग आसपास रह रहे हैं वाटर बॉडी के, उनको थोड़ा सतर्क रहना है. How big is the threat then? अगर speed intensity इतनी कम है तो threat कितना बड़ा है? How big is the threat? If the system does intensify into a cyclonic storm, some coastal districts of Maharashtra will come directly in line of its predicted path. Heavy to very heavy rainfall is predicted until June 4, 2020. Southwest monsoon has already made an onset over Kerala, right? So threat is there. हो सकता है क्योंकि साउथ monsoon already आ चुका है, हो सकता है कि थोड़ा सा इंटेंसिटी इसकी स्ट्रॉन्ग हो. That is why an alert warning has been issued. A very important editorial, multilateralism in the new Cold War. This particular article says India can set the world response, also using the opportunity to recover its global thought leadership in this pandemic. Article analyzes the negative effect of the new Cold War on multilateralism and articulates India's role and opportunity in such a scenario. Right? Now, in the new Cold War, as defined by the technology and trade, not territory, non-alignment is an uncertain option. India should craft a global triumvirate. Now, basically here, the new Cold War, which is starting up, is based on technology and trade. It is not of territory. पहले जितने wars होते थे वो क्या होते थे? Territory based होते थे. अब जो ये wars शुरू हो रहे हैं ये technology based है, trade based है, जिसमें इंडिया चाहे तो अपनी एक global position strong कर सकती है. If India wants, it can strengthen up its global position by its mindset, by its leadership. इंडिया के पास opportunity है. China has come out with alternative governance mechanism to the US dominated IMF, World Bank and WTO. By its Belt and Road Initiative. अपने Belt and Road Initiative के थ्रू चाइना डोमिनेट करने की पूरी कोशिश कर रहा है. China's rise has been based on technology, innovation, trade. So it is balancing US's military superiority. US के पास अगर military superiority है तो चाइना टेक्नोलॉजी का यूज कर रहा है, innovative ideas, trade का यूज कर रहा है. US has been seeking a security partnership in Asia to stop China. It has been keen on deepening its relationship. Right now, it's not a military war. यहाँ पर military war की बात नहीं हो रही. Right now, the war is of mindset. It is of ideas. जिसके ज़्यादा strong mindset और ideas वो जीतेगा इस युद्ध को. US has implicitly rejected G20 and UNSC for an expanded G7 to counter China's rise. US कोशिश कर रहा है G7 को तब्दील करने में G11 में, राइट ताकि चाइना के इंक्रीज को, चाइना जिस तरीके से राइज कर रहा है उसको रोका जा सके. Right? Now there is a threat to multilateralism. A clash between China and US at the just concluded WHA marks the end of multilateralism for past 70 years. Given US's America's first policy, US has been withdrawing from key global and regional institutions. And EU and Japan are also re-evaluating their position on globalization. So there is a fight between US and China. Here India has the opportunity. इस fight के बीच में India का क्या role है? What is India's role? The world is questioning both US and China's exceptionalism. US is adopting a policy of US first. China is trying to dominate, right? So what can India do? US कोशिश कर रहा है कि हम अपने आप को पहले रखें हर जगह. China कोशिश कर रहा है हम सबके ऊपर अपना दबदबा बना कर रखें. India क्या कर सकता है? For India, the strategic issue is neither adjustment to China's power nor deference to US लीडरशिप. ना तो हम यूएस की लीडरशिप को डिफर कर सकते हैं, ना हम चाइना के पावर के आगे एडजस्ट कर सकते हैं. इन द न्यू कोल्ड वॉर डिफाइंड बाय टेक्नोलॉजी एंड ट्रेड नॉट टेरिटरी, नॉन अलाइनमेंट इज एन अनसर्टेन ऑप्शन. So what India can do? India should craft a global triumvirate. By proposing an alternative structure, India would not have to choose between emerging power centers. देखो हमें इधर उधर चूज नहीं करना पड़ेगा, चाइना यूएस किसकी तरफ जाए. We will not have to choose if we can carve out a middle path. अगर हम अपना ही एक middle path alternative structure निकाल लें तो ना हमें चाइना की तरफ झुकने की जरूरत, ना यूएस का कंप्लीट साथ देने की जरूरत, राइट? So impending opportunity for India in the light of the upcoming events, there is an impending opportunity for agenda setting. As chair of the executive board of WHA, India can set the global response in terms of multilateralism. It can set the world response to COVID-19, also using the opportunity to recover its global thought leadership, the mind leadership. In September 20, UNGA will discuss the theme, the future we want. In 2021, India will join the UNSC. That is, we are having a non-permanent seat now, and we are also going to chair BRICS Summit. In 2022 also we are hosting the G20. So these are the chances for us. हमारे re-emergence के opportunity है ये हमारे re-emergences के chances हैं, right? Clear? So here the Asian century should be defined in terms of peaceful coexistence. Peaceful coexistence means neither one is dominating, neither the other person is trying to put itself first. ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई एक अकेला dominate कर रहा है, nor it's the case that one person is keeping himself first. एक country अपने आप को बिल्कुल पहले रख रही है, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. Peacefully सब मिलकर exist करें, right? This should be the Asian century, and the global community requires new principles for trade for this peaceful coexistence. इसी peaceful coexistence के लिए हमें नए rules बनाने पड़ेंगे trade के, right? Because right now countries can come together in the aspect of tech and trade only. Countries टेक्नोलॉजी और ट्रेड, अब टेरिटरी का वॉर, ये सब पुरानी बातें हो गई हैं. अब टेक्नोलॉजी और ट्रेड के माध्यम से ही हम दोस्त भी बन सकते हैं और हम दुश्मन भी बन सकते हैं, राइट? देयर इज अ नीड फॉर रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग बोथ द इकोनॉमिक ऑर्डर एंड सोसाइटल बिहेवियर फॉर इक्विटेबल सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट, एंड इंडिया कैन पुट दिस थॉट फॉरवर्ड इन द मीटिंग्स विच इट इज गोइंग टू चेयर, राइट? नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एडिटोरियल, मॉनसून बाउंटी, जीएस पेपर 1 से रिलेटेड है ये एडिटोरियल. इट टॉक्स अबाउट द ऑनसेट ऑफ मॉनसून्स. हेवी रेन्स ओवर केरला अलोन डू नॉट डिटरमाइन द कमिंग ऑफ मॉनसून्स. द IMD has clearly defined the criteria for declaring onset of monsoon. This particular editorial is very important for prelims. Prelims के लिए काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है. मॉनसून का आना इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि केरला में अनाउंस कर दिया हैवी रेन्स हो रही है तो मॉनसून शुरू हो गए, नहीं. देयर आर क्राइटेरिया फॉर डिटेक्टिंग द ऑनसेट ऑफ मॉनसून. Now here, 8 of the 14 designated meteorological stations in Kerala and Karnataka must register 2.5 mm of rain for 2 consecutive days. This is criteria 1. Second criteria, there must be 30 to 40 km per hour westerlies, that is winds from the equator reaching India. Third criteria, there must be a certain value of outwave long wave radiation, that is known as OLR. Right? The monsoon has set in over Kerala. In May, IMD had previously forecast a 4-day delay in the onset, but ये early ही आ गया, right? Then accordingly, we saw the Amphan cyclone also, super cyclone also. Clear? So basically, इधर आपको समझाया गया है prelims के लिए. This is very important. For mains, it is very important. What is the criteria to detect the onset of monsoon? Criteria क्या है जिसके basis पे हम detect कर सकते हैं कि monsoon अब आ चुका है. Clear? Next important editorial, the challenge of law enforcement post COVID-19. COVID-19 के post के बाद, right? COVID-19 के लॉकडाउन को ओपन करने के बाद किस तरीके से लॉ इन्फोर्समेंट में चैलेंज आ सकता है? The law enforcement is as important as healthcare during the current crisis, and the police has been endowed with the task of ensuring strict observance of guidelines, including physical distancing during the lockdown phase. COVID-19 will affect future law enforcement as well. There has been a sharp reduction in traffic accidents, right? Fatalities, because lockdown में सब घर में थे, तो बहुत से burglary, right? The trespassing, the other crimes, there was a sharp droppage in these crimes. A survey across the nations has indicated measurable drop in overall crime rate as well. The pandemic and lockdown have ensured that many crimes have gone down. However, many other crimes have gone up also. That is the domestic violence, जिसके लिए अब नया administration, नया law enforcement procedure निकालना ही पड़ेगा. Clear? So read this editorial very carefully. PDF में editorial दिया हुआ है, इसको अच्छे से पढ़ना. ठीक है? Scientists identify second most common coronavirus type in India. There are 11 SARS-CoV-2 types identified globally, with at least 6 of them identified in India. Scientists at multiple CSIR labs have identified a type of coronavirus that may be the second most prevalent in India, and it may comprise 3.5% of the genomes globally. So basically 11 तरीके के SARS-CoV types होते हैं जो identify किए गए हैं, जिसमें से 6 तो इंडिया में पाए गए हैं. The coronavirus type, or clade, is a cluster of SARS-CoV-2 virus that share evolutionary similarities. Such classifications are useful in establishing whether certain strains are particularly virulent or not. They can spread easily or not. अब ये जो नया टाइप आइडेंटिफाई किया गया है इस पैराग्राफ में जो आप देखोगे, that is A3I, that is the new identified type, which comprises 41% of those analyzed viruses which have been analyzed right now. According to a research paper, अभी इसको peer review किया जाएगा, बट कहा जा रहा है A31 जो है, जो नया वायरस आइडेंटिफाई किया गया है, ये ज्यादा वायरुलेंट है, यानी कि it is linked to more deaths. Basically it is being studied right now. Okay, अभी इसको स्टडी किया जा रहा है. Next is electronics incentive schemes launched. Telecom and IT Minister launched 3 incentive schemes with total outlay of 48,000 crore to boost large-scale manufacturing of electronics in the country. Very important news for prelims. बहुत ही important है ये topic prelims के लिए. There are 3 schemes which have been approved by Union Cabinet in March 2020. First is production-linked incentive. Third is component manufacturing scheme. Second is component manufacturing scheme, and third is modified electronics manufacturing clusters. Now under this PLI, that is production linked incentive, it is targeted at mobile phone manufacturing and specified electronic components. गवर्नमेंट का प्लान है कि 10 फर्म्स को इंसेंटिवाइज किया जाएगा, 5 ग्लोबल फर्म्स होगी और 5 लोकल फर्म्स होंगी, एंड दीज फर्म्स विल बी सिलेक्टेड एज पर द गाइडलाइंस ऑफ द स्कीम ओनली. क्लियर? With the 3 new schemes, government aims to manufacture electronics worth 8 lakh crore while generating employment for about 10 lakh people in the next 5 years. Basically, this is a part of Atmanirbhar India, right? Atmanirbhar India program or self-reliant India. Clear? We are moving towards being a self-reliant country. Now this was all for today. Do not forget to join this live session tonight. Unacademy का UPSC का जो channel है, I will give you the link also in the description box. You will find the link. This is Unacademy's YouTube channel for UPSC preparation. I am going to come live at 9:30 PM daily from Monday to Friday. Daily mock test we are going to solve. Also do not forget to register to this Unacademy Plus free special live class which I am going to conduct tomorrow. Clear? So on this note we are wrapping up the session. Thank you everyone.